Right out of the press, we have some exciting news. At last, the wait is over. The eagerly awaited $2,000 stimulus payments are now formally in motion. And what do you know? It's all set for you. You, indeed. In this essential video, we'll break out Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits for you in basic and easy terms. This news is for everyone. Whether you're a disabled person, a retiree living the good life, or a veteran who proudly served our nation. Think of what you could do if you had an extra $2,000. It can be paying off debt, setting food on the table, or treating yourself to that unique item you've had your eye on. This stimulus check is more than simply money. For many people and families going through difficult circumstances, it's a lifeline. The best part, though, is that we're here to help you through the stimulus check claim procedure without any hassles. With our comprehensive step-by-step instructions, you won't have to worry about being confused or waiting by the mailbox to get what you're due. Here are some essential information about how this will all operate. First of all, payment for this is automated. To get it, you don't have to submit an application or file anything. The funds will be transferred to you automatically as long as you are getting benefits for the relevant programs by a specific deadline. In order to get money out swiftly to those who need it most during the ongoing economic repercussions of the pandemic and inflation, the IRS, Social Security Administration, and VA are working together to disperse these stimulus funds, according to the time frame we'll detail momentarily. To establish your eligibility and decide where to send the stimulus funds, the IRS will utilize the details of your most recent federal benefits payment. The IRS will use the bank account you provided for direct deposit if you have already filed a 2022 tax return with that information. If not, you should anticipate receiving your stimulus payment via a Direct Express debit card, a non-Direct Express bank account on file, or paper checks in the mail in the same manner that you presently receive your Social Security, SSDI, SSI, or VA benefits. If you receive a Direct Express card, your monthly payment will be increased by $2,000 in addition to your usual stimulus. The stimulus that everyone else receives through mail or direct bank deposit will be paid out separately from your usual monthly payout. Although there are income restrictions, be advised that they are very high. The entire stimulus amount will be awarded to any individual or couple earning less than $125,000 or $250,000 annually. The payment phases out at increasing income levels above specified thresholds. Therefore, you should be eligible for the maximum $2,000 per person on Social Security, unless you are one of the really wealthy. Let's now discuss the crucial timing for when you can anticipate receiving this money. This week, starting on Wednesday, April 17th, the first payments will be made. To help manage distribution, the IRS and other government agencies are spreading out the payment schedule over the next few weeks. However, you should get your stimulus money by the first week of May at the latest. The following is a schedule of when the various payment streams will be released. Wednesday, April 17th. Up to 4 million individuals are eligible for SSI, SSDI, and other federal benefits. The first wave of payments starts to appear on their Direct Express cards. Friday, April 19th. For those not using Direct Express, the second wave arrives via direct bank deposit. This includes the first set of Social Security retirement benefits, which went to almost 25 million people. Week of April 22nd. Check payments by mail for any remaining federal recipients who have not yet set up direct deposit will be part of the third wave. May 1st, last day to submit. All beneficiaries of SSDI, SSI, Virginia, and Social Security retirement benefits ought to have received their stimulus payment by now. Should your payment not arrive by the 1st of May, there is probably a problem with your eligibility details. You will need to get in touch with the organization in charge of your particular benefits for further information. But within the next several weeks, you should expect that $2,000 per person to be in your accounts, barring any unanticipated delays or problems with direct deposit. A crucial point to remember is that you do not have to do anything extra to receive your stimulus money, such as paying taxes up front or repaying a payment. This is a prepayment for a specific tax credit that you will be able to claim the following year on your 2023 return. When the money arrives, you will be the only one keeping it. What about other groups' eligibility and stimulus payments? The good news is that tens of millions of additional Americans will get a larger stimulus package beginning in May, with this $2,000 payment for federal beneficiaries only representing the first wave. A similar stimulus rebate of up to $2,000 per person will be available to you if you do not receive VA, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, or SSI payments. This will depend on your income level and 2022 tax return. Therefore, pay close attention over the coming weeks as the IRS will be releasing revised schedules and information regarding the start date of the next significant wave of payments for non-federal beneficiaries and other taxpayers. For parents who are getting the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit, additional stimulus monies have also been approved. The White House is still seeking to reauthorize more generous monthly child tax credits later this year, which may provide millions of families with even more much-needed financial help. Those payments are expected to be distributed during the summer. Today marks the beginning of the distribution of $2,000 in much-needed stimulus money to recipients of VA and SSI payments, as well as Social Security retirement and disability beneficiaries. Over the following several weeks, keep an eye out for these payments to arrive in your accounts. The amount will be credited to your account on a staggered schedule depending on whatever payment method you currently use. For the most recent information, check your benefit statements again or contact your agency. Tens of millions of Americans who are vulnerable and on fixed incomes will benefit from an immediate $2,000 stimulus. More help for other taxpayers, families with children, and low-income workers is already in the works. As we continue to recover from the economic effects of the epidemic, these monies will be extremely helpful in meeting basic needs such as paying rent, buying groceries and prescription drugs, paying off past due bills, and other necessities. Subscribe to this channel and return often for all the most recent information on stimulus checks, missing payment information, follow-up recovery rebates, and more. During this trying time, let's make sure everyone receives all the money to which they are legally entitled. These $2,000 stimulus checks are arriving at a critical moment as the nation's household budgets continue to be squeezed by soaring inflation. For millions of people living on limited incomes or disability benefits, the payments offer a much-needed lifeline, even though they won't completely remove all financial burdens. That $4,000 flat sum might pay for several months' worth of groceries, prescription drugs, and energy expenses for a retired senior couple. That money could be used by a disabled person to pay past due rent or mortgage payments, avoiding foreclosure or eviction. Veterans may use the money for unpaid bills or home repairs, and low-income families will at last have some financial breathing room as they wait for the increased child tax credit payments that are anticipated in the upcoming months. Naturally, those who oppose the most recent round of stimulus claims that adding more money to the economy will only make inflation worse. They argue that payments are a costly and ineffective type of assistance that will raise demand without boosting supply. Some object to the possibility that millionaires would be eligible because of the high income requirements. Supporters respond, however, that directing the stimulus directly toward lower income groups, such as Social Security recipients, lessens the pressure on inflation overall. Rather than going to wealthy consumers who can afford to preserve a substantial amount of their income, the money is going directly to people who need it most and will spend it right away on necessities like food and housing. Additionally, supporters emphasize that, at this point in the recovery, the necessity of ongoing financial assistance greatly surpasses any potential drawbacks. Regardless of your opinion on the benefits of these stimulus payments, there are a few important things to consider regarding how they may affect your finances. First off, even if the extra $2,000 is a great boost, it's important to avoid going on any spending binges that can put you in a tight spot later on. Make sure you use the money first on things that you absolutely must have, such groceries, housing expenses, healthcare, and other needs. It is advisable to develop a budgeting strategy to stretch those monies as far as they can. It's also critical to realize that, Because this stimulus money is really an advance payment toward a tax credit that you will declare on your 2023 tax return the following year. You will eventually be required to pay taxes on it. But you won't need to pay taxes on the entire $2,000 at this time, or pay anything upfront in order to get the money.